In the heart of Victoria Island, Lagos, lived Miranda Blake, a powerful billionaire businesswoman feared and admired in equal measure. Known for her sharp tongue and designer clothes, she ran her father's empire with an iron fist and had no patience for weakness. Miranda believed people were either valuable or useless, and beggars were the worst of all. She hated how they crowded the streets, asking for what they didn't earn. Every morning, on her way to her high-rise office, she passed a skinny young man who sat by the gate of her company, barefoot, quiet, and annoying. She often told security to chase him away. "Filthy rats don't belong near gold," she once hissed, tossing him a coin in disgust. The beggar, whose name was Daniel, had once dreamed of becoming a writer. But life had crushed his dreams after his parents died in a car accident, leaving him alone with nothing but his pen and hope. He had lived in shelters, eaten from trash bins, and slept under broken roofs, yet he kept a little notebook where he wrote poems about people who lived in glass towers. Daniel never begged Miranda directly, but he never moved either. He sat there every day, just watching people. When she threw the coin at him, he didn't pick it up. He just looked at her, his brown eyes calm and unreadable, which made her even more furious. One rainy afternoon, Miranda's car broke down on her way home. Her driver had gone to get help, and she was stuck in the back seat with her phone dead. To make matters worse, the rain poured harder, and no one offered to help, until Daniel appeared with an umbrella and a quiet offer to walk her to shelter. At first, she refused, disgusted by his torn shirt and wet slippers. But as thunder roared and her anger turned to fear, she followed him, grumbling the whole way. Daniel didn't speak much. He just led her to an abandoned bus stop and gave her his umbrella while he sat in the rain. Something about that silence stayed with her. The next day, Miranda didn't see Daniel, and for reasons she didn't understand, it bothered her. Days passed, and he didn't return. Her mood grew worse, and even her staff noticed. Then one night, at a private charity event, Miranda heard a poem being read, a beautiful, haunting piece about pride, power, and loneliness. It felt like someone had read her soul. When she asked who wrote it, she was shocked to hear it was Daniel, the beggar. The charity had a writing contest for the homeless, and he had won. He stood in a corner, wearing borrowed clothes, not looking at her. Embarrassed but curious, Miranda confronted him. She accused him of playing games, pretending to be poor to get attention. Daniel only replied, "You never asked who I was. You only saw what I wore." The words stung more than she expected. She walked away angry, but something had cracked inside her. Over the next few weeks, she found herself reading more of his poems online. They made her laugh, cry, and think. Slowly, her pride gave way to interest. She began to visit the shelters where he volunteered. She even funded his next writing project, though she never admitted it was her. But not everyone was happy with Miranda's sudden interest in street people. Her business partner and secret admirer, Henry, was furious. He had long hoped to marry her and gain control of her wealth. He hired someone to spread lies about Daniel, saying he was a criminal who had stolen money in the past. The news spread fast. Her friends laughed, her staff whispered, and Miranda, heartbroken, confronted Daniel once again. He didn't defend himself, just handed her a worn-out file that told the true story of his past, one full of pain, not crime. Feeling betrayed by the lies and ashamed of how she had judged him, Miranda disappeared from public view for weeks. The press said she was sick, but in truth, she was thinking about her life, her choices, and Daniel. In that silence, she realized she had never truly loved anyone. She had used money to shield herself from feelings. But Daniel had made her feel something real. She returned one evening, walked through the same gate where she used to throw coins, and found Daniel reading to children at a shelter. He looked up, surprised, but didn't speak. Miranda knelt in front of him, for the first time seeing him, not the beggar, not the poet, but the man. "I was wrong," she said simply. "Not just about you. About everything." He smiled, a small, sad smile. "I know," he replied. "But it's not too late." They talked until the sun went down. No promises, just truth. Months later, Miranda didn't need to hide her feelings. She and Daniel were often seen walking together, hand in hand, not caring what society thought. Henry was exposed for his lies and lost everything. Daniel's first book hit bestseller lists, thanks to a secret investor Miranda never named. And for the first time in her life, the billionaire who once hated beggars found peace not in power, but in love that had waited quietly at her gate.